I flew to Manila at the time to investigate what was going on, but we had no clear notion yet of what was actually planned. And when the intelligence emerged about the plot, and the intelligence emerged actually accidentally, just as a result of a fire in the apartment where explosives were being concocted. And it was a bomb factory. And in addition to finding the equipment that was necessary to fabricate explosives, they saw all this Catholic stuff, vestments, things.
They were planning to assassinate Pope John Paul II using improvised explosive device.
January 6, 1995, 2 years after the first World Trade Center attack. The Philippines, a largely Catholic country, is preparing for a visit from Pope John Paul II.
Ramzi Youssef returns to Manila's Josefa apartments to finalize the Bojinka plot.
After he proved that his liquid nitroglycerin bombs would work, he realized he had to just make them slightly more powerful to be able to bring down airliners. The bombs would be detonated and the planes would have fallen out of the sky into the Pacific. Youssef hired an apartment in Manila and began mixing chemicals. He began preparing these bombs.
Youssef and his associates begin building 12 bombs to simultaneously bring down 12 747s, the most deadly terrorist act in history.
The apartment in the Philippines was a bomb factory. It was a very complicated plot. 12 different operatives to get on 12 different planes at specific times, get off at specific times, and to set the timers on the explosive devices to function at specific times.
As Youssef cooks up explosives by the sink, the concoction accidentally ignites. The acrid smoke drives the two men from their apartment.
Thick smoke begins to pour from room 603.
There was a security guard at the apartments who forced his way in. He could see a load of chemicals and the fire brigade were alerted. When the investigators turned up, they were looking at the contents of this room and finding an array of terrorist equipment.
The explosive ingredients, the chemicals, the timer for cooking, the books, dictionaries, formulas.
Ramzi Youssef was just down the block watching what was going on with his conspirator, Abdul Hakim Murad. He sent Murad back in. He ordered him basically, you've got to go back in there and get the laptop and try and get as much out of there as you can. Murad nearly got away with it, but he was captured by the Filipino police.
Police arrest Murad as he tries to flee. They also seize the laptop. Youssef is watching from across the street. Within hours, he buys a first-class ticket to Singapore and slips out of the country.
Murad is interrogated with extreme brutality by the Filipino president's own security team. But even beatings and waterboarding fail to bring a confession.
Very tough guy. Murad was a tough guy.
We are facing a blank wall. Almost zero information about these people. The visit of the Pope was underway, and we need to find out whether there are threats.
So they said, let us turn Murad to the Philippine National Police, to a young colonel at the time, known for his great expertise in interrogating communist rebels by the name Boogie Mendoza.
Abdul Hakim Murad, a commercial airline pilot, he's interrogated by Colonel Mendoza, a veteran fighter against Islamist rebels who threatens to deliver him to the Israeli intelligence agency, the Mossad.
You are telling 50% truth, 50% liar. Maybe if this lie will exceed 50%, I will not waste my time again here and deliver to you to the Israeli again. I'm becoming impatient. You are creating stories that are unbelievable. But I'm starting to believe on him. Why? Because I have seen his eyes. He's not winking. He can see me eye to eye. And that's what I'm after. I have seen these eyes long time ago, several times. So this guy is telling me the truth.
Indeed, the plot is foiled at the last moment when a fire breaks out in the apartment where Ramzi makes his bombs, on which the police discover the details of an operation codenamed Bojinka. Analyzing the computer's contents, investigators then discover new elements. It's the follow-up to the Bojinka plan, whose concept is radically new.
Delta and Northwest jumbo jets bound for Portland, Honolulu, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York. The first clear straight line between the Philippines plot and September 11th. The next phase of Bojinka. Terrorists trained to fly commercial planes in the United States.
I asked him, what is Bojinka? It's a code name, he told me. What code name for? Then he trembled. Bojinka, they told me, is an explosion. He used the word nose diving. I remembered it. Diving the plane into several targets. He mentioned the Pentagon, he mentioned a nuclear facility, he mentioned Langley. So I was shocked.
That's the biggest surprise. When the third component of the Ublan Bojinka is the seizing commercial aircraft in the continental U.S., controlling it, and diving crash specifically to Langley, Virginia, okay, and other targets. How did you know this? Because Ramzi Joseph is telling me. So you are admitting that you are one of the pilots. Mr. Murad, I remember that you told me that you studied pilot here. Who are your companions? There is a pilot training in the US. So I was again mesmerized. He is emphasizing, Mr. Murad is emphasizing that it is a suicide attack using an aircraft.
Do you think that some of the pilots of 9/11 were already in 95 ready to operate?
Yeah, based on my analysis, some of them might be there already. I have reasons to believe that it was the blueprint of 9/11.
Colonel Mendoza insists that he shared all this information with the FBI. The FBI acknowledges receiving intelligence from Mendoza, but claims there were no details about the plot that became 9/11.
They had up to 10 Islamic terrorists training in U.S. flight schools. That plot was well in motion, and Ramzi Youssef had it all on his Toshiba laptop. They had up to 7 targets, including the Trade Center, the Pentagon, a nuclear facility, CIA headquarters, the Sears and Transamerica Towers, and the White House.